Hey there, good morning and welcome. If you're watching the replay, I do appreciate you. Um, I am going to be assembling the Majestic Mountain cabin that we made here in house, and we offer it on the Etsy store, and it's in the Z scale. We're doing it for a customer for Christmas, and we're going to show you how we put it together. We got it laid all out here in front of us, and if you are watching in replay, we do appreciate you. New deal going on with YouTube, at least new to me. I haven't streamed in a few weeks. Um, I am streaming right now in vertical and horizontal. And in the vertical stream, you cannot see me, and in the horizontal stream, you can. And there is a little latency on it, so it's better for me to watch inside of OBS because I can see exactly what I'm doing there. But it'd be interesting to see how all this works. And I'm going to get busy. The first thing I've got to do is I did the windows and stuff already, and I've got tape behind the walls. So what I do is I put tape back here, and then I use my canopy glue, which I got a video on how I do all that. Then I use my canopy glue to make my windows, and once it's all good and dry, and it's been a good 36 hours now, I'll just come in and trim off the excess tape from the back. And I did bring my extra blades out here in case I need them. This isn't too tricky though. I brought a cutting block over here, so I didn't use the nice styly spinny thing that Alice got us a while back. And let's see if I'm at, let's check OBS. Stream settings. All right. I had it on private, and so I don't know how the replay works. I don't know if that'll go back. I guess it will. I guess the replay will say everything else, and that's really who I needed to talk to anyway, which I guess could be kind of cool and used in a certain kind of way. But anyway, now we are public, and so we'll see if anything changes. Uh-oh, I hit a button I didn't mean to. Okay, let's go back. I don't know exactly how delayed I am. Anyway, sorry for the hiccup, everybody. If you are watching the replay at home, I think maybe you've already heard all this. And alright. And so what I'm doing for those of you that are joining us, or just getting ready to join us maybe, is I am removing the tape from the back of the walls. I have got this guy already. These don't ever require it. And I mean, you might ask, and I'm glad if you do, why I use the canopy glue at all. Tape looks perfectly good when you put it on the back, but that tape is tacky, and dust and dirt and debris will stick to it. And so when you cover it with the canopy glue, you make it opaque. It is the only thing I don't like. Average view duration 436. That's strange. It says no viewers, but the average view duration is 436. Anyway, hopefully somebody will join us in a minute. We'll see if we got audio and everything. All right. Okay, I do have somebody who came in for a sec. And I got tape all over my fingers. That is the only part I don't like about my new system, is that. And so my walls are ready. I don't know how well you could see these windows, and I can't. I'm going to have to switch to OBS to watch you to do this part. Yeah, you can kind of see them. Alright. And this one is going to be lightly weathered, so we got our wall pieces ready to go. Alright. This is a base piece that fits, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to fit right here. No, this one fits right here. This one fits on top. And I print everything on a raft, and really easy to get it off. You just break it off like so. I'm going to leave that chimney on that raft right now so I don't lose it. Let's see here. We'll go stream settings on public. Hey there, John. Good morning. I'm not even sure if I got audio or not. Good to see you. It's got a little crown by your name. It says you're number one. I don't know that I've ever heard you anyone refer to you as number one before. You doing good today? I almost feel like I don't have everything. Alright, does this guy, so we go here. I need to get my instructions out. It's been a minute since I put this together. Here. Oh, I know what it is. It's here and here. Then this guy. Then these, then that. Yep, I got it. Thank you. Yeah, I was gonna say number two, but nobody really ever referred to you as number two either. I would say I lean to one. Man, that that one illustration that you sent me on the mini layout with the over-under. That one that showed how it was going to be elevated has really been helpful. I mean, that cleared up so much in my thinking you can't imagine. Getting a picture of that was great. So yeah, I painted these already, and I did the windows like I always do them. Tape on the back, and then did the canopy glue, and they're looking good. I just saw one, but well, it ain't a bubble. Thought I had left a bubble, but this piece was a little more challenging because, or took more time because I had to stand it up and do the window and let it dry some before I could flip this one and do it, and then flip this one and do it. So I had to wait a little while. Everything else was really quick. Oh man, really. well, obviously the track plan, because that superseded the elevation, but it was very difficult for me to visualize how that elevation was going to look and work. And see, it'll be good, John, because you can have those two tracks that are level on the bottom. You can have that closest, and then furthest away on that layout, you could have those raised tracks up there, and that'll give great opportunity for scenery to increase in height, increase in elevation up through there. That's going to look really cool. I think. I gotta find one of those though. I think I'm gonna I might go ahead and just get one. I was thinking about kind of trying to find some used, but just because of sizing and shipping and all that stuff, I might go ahead and bite the bullet and just get one and work from there. And what I haven't decided is how much I want to publicize that prior to having one of them done. I don't know if I just want to film everything or if I want to do it live or whatever. I haven't quite decided. I've been toying with that. Well, no, dude, I don't know that you needed to. The thing is, there won't be any space outside of the tracks. So everything is inside of there. And basically, elevation can go from, you just take a ruler, and I'll be able to increase the elevation. The lowest part will be closest to the viewer, and the furthest part away will be increased in elevation a little bit. And inside of that very small space, I've kind of seen some over-unders, but not a lot of them. Yeah. Well, you're not talking about the over-under part, are you? Or the fact that the other two lines are flat, that are basically in the middle on that one side. It looks like those two tracks are going to be perfectly flat with each other. Okay. Don't go to a ton of work, but we're getting close to doing that. Again, we're going to really, I mentioned to you kind of like why I didn't know what project I was going to be pushing forward through. And so, that's going to kind of depend on things too. But yeah, we'll be pretty close here shortly. I would think with one or the other. Got a lot of work to do. I got to get a jigsaw drill bit. I got to get a bit for my jigsaw so I can cut the pieces. Mine's old and I don't even want to fool with it. I want to cut the 3 pieces for the 12-foot shelf, and then I also want to cut the piece for the little one. You can actually start drawing on them. Once I get them cut, I can start drawing stuff. I'll have stuff to do for a month and a half if I wanted to just draw on them. But I got plenty to do because I've got to assemble this today. I've got to assemble, and I got all the other pieces, but I got to assemble this, a Z-scale warehouse. And I don't know what happened, but I also have to assemble a Z-scale ski loft. Now, why I got all the Z-scale stuff, I have no idea, but I do. Now, I do understand why Z-scale folks have me put it together, because they don't want to do it. Although, the way I designed mine, and as much as I've done mine, they're really not that bad on me. So what we're going to do is we're going to start this. Got bad boy goes here. And face front this way. So we just need to apply a little adhesive on here. Hey, Lee. And Klondike. Good to meet you. Yeah, not intentionally, Klondike. It was an accident. It was an accident. I got to do 3 of them. So, now that y'all are in here, John, I've got, this is going in vertical and horizontal, and I didn't have to do anything extra. Now the button is there where you can do it. It can do it on its own. Problem is I don't have, and I didn't know, hey there, problem is I didn't know about it before the fact. Hey there, Randall, good to see you, man. I didn't know about it before the fact, so like all my, what is it, the text and stuff on the bottom and everything, and none of that's set up for both vertical and horizontal. I'll have to work on that. Kind of looks like it's showing the dead middle of the screen. It's showing, yeah. Wait, is it showing this? No, it's showing this table, which is good because that's what I needed to be seeing. So that worked out well. I don't know if it does it on its own, if it adjusts somewhat or not. But it picked the right thing, so we're happy about that. So anyway, if you're a live streamer, there is a way now, when you stream, there's a button you can click, and it's really not super easy to find, which kind of surprises it to me. Because you know they want you to use it, but not super, oh, I gotta print the doors and stuff for this. I didn't think about that yet. Doors are important. But, wait, did I do that right? There we go. I would have had a chimney going through the roof. Alright. So, yeah. There's a button you can click now when you go live. So, John, like, next time for your STS, which I gotta watch your last Sidetrack Sunday. I haven't seen it. Anyway, told on myself, but I really haven't. Anyway, next time you do it, there's just a little button you can click, and you'll be able to go out and reach a few more people, I would think. At least I did. I certainly did when I did it downstairs on the train shed. When I was doing the trains and stuff down there, you remember that. When was that? We had a break. It was nice, too. But I got one coming up. Got 4 days. And then we're on break for 2 weeks. And, any of you guys in the chat ever heard about a baseball team called the Savannah Bananas? It might just be a bigger... Yeah, it might just be a bigger deal down here in the South. I don't know. When they're coming to the Superdome, right? You can't just buy tickets. You gotta get in a lottery to get tickets. This is in the Superdome, and they're like the Harlem Globetrotters are kind of for baseball, I guess. But we entered the lottery 4 times and only got one of them. So one of four chances. I mean, there was four different people we knew that all kind of, so they do it. You can't do a bunch of them on your own because you could end up with tickets you don't need. But I guess that could be work out too. But anyway, um, we entered the lottery four times to get in once, and so we are going to get to go see them in March in New Orleans. And anyway, I kind of mentioned that because we're going to take the train over there. That's when I'm going to finally get to take the train to New Orleans. We're going to wait till, since we're going over there then, we're not, and we've been planning on taking the train anyway. So in March, we'll be taking the train over to New Orleans. And I'll be able to get y'all some footage of that. And so yeah, that will be cool. We're gonna just kind of do both of them. It's something the little one AJ's been wanting to do that pretty bad, so we got lucky. And see, the thing is, we put in for a good bit of tickets, so we're gonna get to invite her soccer team. They would have to go ahead and cover the finances for their own ticket, but they're going to have an opportunity to go. So the kids in her soccer team and one of their parents is going to get a chance to get a ticket too. So she'll have friends going, and it should be a good time. I don't know that all the kids will be on the train, but that would be cool if they were. They'd be probably as excited as I would. I'd have some people as excited as me on there. So this was a mistake because I see the size and I redid it. It wasn't a mistake. I didn't have the cutout for the front piece. So now we will carefully make sure that we don't make a mistake here, because I think these have an appropriate side as well. No, they're here. Yes. Alright, so one of these is the front. This is the back. This is the front because it's got the door. Alright, which side are these? I think here. Alright. No, I'm leaning that way. They're really close. What happened? Oh, man. A lot of times, I was in a restaurant a few weeks ago and didn't think about it until too late, and I was pretty upset with myself. Z-scale, I try not to use too much stickum. And I try to use those little, hope I'm not moving that. I don't think I was moving the whole thing. I try to use those little needle point glue things, but they always get clogged up, and they just end up being more trouble than they're worth. So I just do it normal. I should have probably done this before I put it on top. I definitely should have. I'm probably going to take this off. It would have been a whole lot easier to put together and would have made no difference. It's not hard to put this model together though anyway, fortunately. It's very simple. Now the warehouse I have to do is a little harder. And the ski lodge is pretty simple. Oh, I want to show you something. So now this is upside down and probably going to be hard to explain. This is the wrong one. That's the first one. Alright. So, on the ski lodge, let's see, I need to go to OBS for a minute. Alright, on the ski lodge, hey Dave, BNSFN Scale and Kyle. On the ski lodge, I was having a heck of a time with the walkways, right? Even in N-scale. And the biggest problem I was having is the posts, right? The deck railings that, not the deck railings, but the pylons that extended this up, right? The beams or whatever. And I was doing them separately and everything, individually, and I was doing a little hole in the top. I'm not going to take this off because I'm going to send it out this way. But I was doing a little hole in the top of this and pushing the beams through. And anyway, that was for the birds, and it was really, really, really hard to deal with. So I went ahead and redesigned this. And now it's all printed in one piece instead of in several pieces and with a bunch of beams that are separate. And so they'll just be able to break this off and slide this right up against the ski lodge whenever they got it in place. And then they'll just be able to put the deck railings on top and it'll be good to go. Before it was a more difficult process for them because they had to do the beams and everything. There was no way for me to send it that way. So anyway, I redesigned it and now it's all one piece to include the stairs and everything. So once they break this off, it should just be able to slide right in like it's supposed to. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. That's one thing I'm gonna be doing. It's another $300 down the road, and they haven't even sent my my new bamboo yet. It hasn't even been sent out. It's still on back order. Now, I mean, it was on back order when I ordered it, but it was exactly what I needed and what I wanted. So anyway, $300 from now, I'll be able to do the window frames and doors and all that stuff on the walls. Because I'll be able to do a few different colors at once. And so that'll be nice to be able to do that. Would be really cool is when they get one that's good and transparent enough to do the windows too. I don't think they have that yet. But yeah, I'll show y'all. I've got a, I should have went ahead and done that. I could go ahead and break that other one off now that I think about it. Uh-oh, I'm going to need an insert on this one unless I don't have it in the right place. Oh, there we go. If I don't have it in the right place, it looks like it won't fit right. Anyway, I didn't forget I had two of them because I had the other one over here. Anyway, let me get that. This one had a different bottom, but let's see how hard this is to break off first too. I put in instructions for them to. Oh, there's a couple other things I did. I fixed this because there were some gaps in here too. I think that's why I went ahead and did it. So this might not be a good example now that I forgot about that part. I thought I'd just redone it with this because of the stairs, but there's little gaps. Whoop, it stayed together though. I didn't think it was going to. But anyway, that's what it looks like now. It's freestanding and so much easier to deal with. And then there's little extrusions cut out of the edge here so they can just set those little deck railings right on the edge and glue them in once they put it in place. And so this is not as attractive as those beams, but it maybe it is in its own way. It's different. But before you wouldn't have had as many of these, but I had to kind of do that in order to make sure that the vertical was, see, because I printed it face down, and I had to have some beams in here so the filament didn't start to drop. And so anyway, it was a trade-off, but there you go. But what makes it nice is it's freestanding. And that makes it a whole lot easier to deal with and put those deck railings on them and stuff like that. I could almost break it off there myself and put those deck railings on, but I hate to do that because they're so small. I don't even know what I did with them. No, I don't know what I did with them, and I'm pretty upset about that. I have some Z-scale deck railings somewhere, but I have no idea what I did with them. I'm pretty upset with myself that I have no idea what I did with them. So that's another story. Hey there, PK and W, Bob. Good to see you. How you been, Dave? Being SFN scale? We ironically, and I don't intend for this to happen, and well, I kind of intended for a little bit of this to happen, but ironically, I'm putting a Z-scale model together right now. I'll be putting another Z-scale model together next, and then I'll be putting another Z-scale model together after that. And that was all by accident. Then on by purpose, pretty soon I'll be starting a Z-scale project for around here. And that one was done on intentionally. But we're not going to be totally Z-scale around here. It's just going to be transitioning into that for a minute. Because we're going to do a multi-scale model. Uh-oh. As well as we're also going to be doing a miniature Z-scale layout. A little continuous run, self-contained Z-scale layout. And Brother John is helping with the design on all the above. And we have in a very small space, or he has, I should have. Oh, wait, Steven, good to see you. What's up, Wigwag? And again, it's great to see you too, Kyle. It's been a long time since I've seen any of you guys. It almost seems like, not any of you guys, but it seems like a few of y'all's faces I saw a lot last Christmas time. And I think I was streaming a ton last Christmas too, if I'm not mistaken, and y'all were with me for a lot of that. I appreciate that too. But anyway, we're going to be doing, Brother John figured out how to put a, we'll talk about that because that's, anyway, John figured out how to do an over-under in a very small space. Let me check on something. I just heard a noise that was unusual, and I got a crazy, if you're not going to believe this, I got a crazy fish. But he's like this big. It's not a little fish. It's a really big fish. If he gets mad, you can hear him from this far. Yeah, Gracie's asleep, so it must have been the fish. I got a psycho fish, man. He's crazy. And yeah, Bob. All of the everything I'll be building over the next week will be for going out for Christmas. I've got a couple I'm just not gonna get done, but oh wow, 7 inches of snow here. I'm a little jealous, but it sounds like the shoveling might not be a lot of fun. All right, those go on the very top. So here is my roofing. All right, I wonder what this is. Oh, that's for the beam. All right, this goes across here. No, that's not the right one. Maybe it is. Yeah, it is. All right. Good time to do that too. So I put a beam across the middle. For one, it helps me keep everything straight, parallel. But it helps with the roofing pieces as well. So let's see. If we can get that in there. Easier in HO scale to do. Yeah, big game, Dave. We will be rooting for you in that. John, you got that much snow? Whoa. So yeah, Bob, I got 3 Z-scale assemblies to do. Back to back to back. And I've actually got another one. Let me see. No, that N is a kit. HO is a kit. I have 5Z. So I've got 5Z, 1HO, 1N, and all the Z's are assembled except for one. So 4 of the Z's are assembled. And I'm trying to get 3 of them out before Christmas. One of them I'm not going to be able to. And well, I mean, I'm not actually supposed to have any of them out before Christmas, except for this one. But I'm going to try to get the other 3 out too. But I like it, Kyle. I'm just a little different than you, but I enjoy it because it makes me think I'm closer to Colorado. But yeah, there we go. So we put a beam in there like so. Yeah, there you go. A little better view. Well, there you go. We put a beam in there like so across the middle. And that helps the roof pieces lay, but we're going to give that just a sec. And that's the only thing wrong with going live is I do rush the build sometimes, but you know, that ain't a big deal. So what we got? Alright, that ain't bad. Back to here. Now, tomorrow morning is colder than I want it to be, and that's only because I've got to go to work. If I didn't have to go to work, I wouldn't really mind. Now that's still a little colder. When we get into where we can freeze, here's the thing: if it's too cold to snow, it's too cold. God, dog. I really don't know what's going on with that thing. Just added the Bamboo P2S to the lineup last week. 51 hours, and I'm liking it so far. That's great to hear, Klondike. Did you hear me mention I got one coming? I do have a Bamboo on the way. It could be the end of January before I get it, but it should be here at some point. I understand. Oh, I got you, Kyle. Makes more sense. Yeah, I had my share of it for a little while, but then, um, yeah, this way. I cut little indentions under here to make it dummy proof, but, yeah, I'm getting an H2S. I need a bigger build volume, although you wouldn't think I did with everybody ordering Z scale stuff, but, which I'm not complaining. But Z scale's great to print, just not as fun to put together. But man, it's great to print. But yeah, I got an H2S, and I got it because of the build volume. Um, was not able to. I spent probably more than I not should have because of what I do, but I spent more than I'm used to is the best way to put it, I guess. I spent more than I'm used to on the H2S, and so I made myself not get the color yet, the AMS2, and I'm gonna get the machine here and get it fine-tuned and working right, and then when I can afford it, I'm gonna get the color. And I figure having less bells and whistles when it first arrives and gets here, just for me to work with one to start off with, I think that's probably best. I honestly can't believe that I might have to stop the stream because of a crazy fish, and I don't know really what I'm going to do. I don't know if there's something wrong with my water parameters or what. I have ordered a new filter, a piece for a filter. But when I check all the water, it looks good. And so I really can't figure out what's upsetting him so much. And I am going to go check on that while I let this dry. But it's a kind of weird looking model, but I like it. And I like the way it's looking, and I really like how easily it's going together, and I should not probably jinx anything. But let me see here. Let me check on my pets. You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to, thank you, Klondike. I'm going to have to go live with my phone a little later and let y'all meet Pebbles. Pebbles is a fish. Pebbles is a big fish. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bob. AJ and I designed this. And so I got accessories and stuff to go on it, but this is the general thing. I had a customer who wanted a larger cabin with a smaller footprint. And that's exactly what she said. Can you get me a bigger cabin with a smaller footprint at the bottom? And so what I did is I designed this with each varying floor getting larger as opposed to the typical smaller. And this is called the Majestic Mountain Cabin. And actually the customer who asked me to design it for her named it. And it's not done yet. It's got more. This sits on the top. Then this is going to sit on top of it. And then we've got more roofing that goes on top of that. So stand by, but I do want to let this roof dry a little better because it is sitting on there nicely, and I don't want to get it all wonky because it's on there nicely. If it wasn't cooperating, I might press forward, but so T-track, is that's in Z scale, Klondike? That might be a package getting delivered that I keep hearing. But I don't have anything that big. Well, yeah, Klondike, let me know that. I'm curious. Yeah, Bob, this is PLA, and I use straight up old school testers. Just this, and I'll explain. Oh, I hear you, Klondike. So anyway, I'm gonna explain this. This is a really good glue to use when you're live streaming, Bob. And I've never had a problem. I've got models that are 6.5 years old that aren't showing any coming apart. But it's really good when you're live streaming, Bob, because you can. It gives you a little working time, but it's got some teeth, so your walls will stick and stay. And after 15-20 seconds, you can move on and model with the next piece. But also for 45 minutes to an hour, to 90 seconds, 45 to 90 seconds, you still got working time where you can adjust it, but it's going to stick in place, where the thinner glues will not stick in place. They're better. They stick, or they say they're better, but I don't know. I am slipping, but I'll go in and do this. I didn't do my I did my windows on here. Duh. So I put, yeah, it's just regular plastic model cement. Sure is. Just the red stuff that you buy in Michael's. And I put my windows on here, but I didn't do it on the ends. But with my canopy glue, I can go in and do that pretty easy. These kind of windows right here are kind of fun to do because you just stretch the canopy glue across the window, and it's really thin, but it doesn't matter. I will be able to do this after the fact. And this one is lightly weathered, and I've weathered the pieces a little, but I'm going to go back and I'll do a little bit more, particularly the bottom. I didn't do the stone at all. And so that piece goes on there like so. Followed by and we want to make sure we get these lined up right. And we do need to let that dry a little bit now. And then we come in with the other roof pieces on top. So then you're going to actually end up with a 1, 2, 3 kind of 4-story or 3-story cabin with a loft. And this is Z scale, but this is a 2-inch by 1.5-inch footprint at the base. And so if you are working with a smaller space, but want something bigger in there, it would work. Like I say, this was designed specifically for somebody, but that was a couple years ago. And then I've had 2 of them ordered. I think maybe 3 of them ordered since. And I will take and make sure that I got I cut them where they'll fit together perfect, but it's easy to get the wrong side. To get the wrong sides matched up. And it could have been this is the problem the whole time. No, it is this way. And this way. Alright. Here. And so on one of them, I have not found a cement that doesn't work with PLA. I will say that one time, Cousin Benny was assembling one of my diners. It was a long time ago too. It was when they were still awful. It was very kind of him to do that. But anyway, one of his glues did not work. Or it appeared it didn't at that time. You remember that, John? These things are floating a little more than I like. Most of my pieces are pretty much dummy proof. I'll design a seat for them. So you really, there's no question where they belong, and usually that little seat that shows you where they go will kind of hold them too. Even in the smaller scales, it gives you a good enough guide and serves as a little bit of a holder. John, this is that lady that was designing putting the little bitty, like 1 to 450 buildings and even smaller than that in those walnuts that you designed. She was putting these little bitty tiny buildings. She was taking my models, right? That I had designed, and she was making them like even smaller than T-scale, and she was putting them in walnuts with like backgrounds and stuff. Shelled out walnuts, big shelled out walnuts. It was crazy. I don't either, but yeah. And I don't know if he, I don't. It might have been isolated, but I've not found a glue that didn't work. Now, I will say that I didn't put these on here like I wanted to, though. Now, see, here's the thing, Bob. We're about 90 seconds in, and I needed to slide these a bit, and I'm able to. And with your professional glue, what they call pro glue, it's thin and it doesn't hold as good. So pieces like this that are on angles are more prone to sliding. All right, and these are sticking better. But pieces are more prone to sliding. So then you get into more clips and stuff, right? Well, once you clip it in or weight it down, you can't move it. And if it's put it somewhere you don't exactly want it, you either got to rinse and repeat, pull it up before it sets, which usually takes longer anyway. But then you got to, if you do got to move it, you got to totally rinse and repeat the whole glue process. But not only that, you can't adjust it during the drying process at all if it's clamped down. So I don't really like the pro glue. I like the beginner glue or the novice glue or whatever you want to call it. And maybe that's why they call it novice. Appreciate you, Lee. Appreciate you. Yeah, this is a pretty clean little model. I've done the warehouse in Z. You see that, Bob, with the top on it? It adds a little bit to it. And I did my windows everywhere except, you see where I missed my windows? Very bottom, very top. But I got my windows in everywhere else. I can put them in easy, though, and I'll be doing that. I got to do a little weathering. I'm not sure if I'll stream that or not. But I do have a chimney. And I do just try to line it up with down here, because if you'll see, at the very bottom down there in the back, you see that little extrusion? There you go. So there's your chimney. So what I try to do is follow that all the way up to this roof and put it exactly where, or as close to where it would go as it should. And that's usually in here-ish. I don't know really how to better figure that, but I do have a little seat cut, but I don't always get the roof. Yeah, that. Yep, I forgot about that. So I did dummy proof that for myself a little bit, but you got to make sure the roof is on in the right place for that to count, because you can move the roof around a little bit. It's forgiving, and so you just got to make sure that that's it. So I cut out a little holder for the roof, for the chimney, so it doesn't want to slide around and all that stuff. And once I get it in there and get it set, it'll usually stick and stay. Bye, Klondike. And so now we have the chimney to match. Thank you, DB Tech. Tonight, everybody, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You got David's going to be performing for us for Sidetrack Sunday, and my understanding is he has live guests and everything in the house. Is that right, Bob? John? But have one of those done, or primarily pretty much done. Got a little bit work to do. I guess I could do some of it now. Although I need to kind of get ready for my little one to get here. So I've got 1, 2... I got 4 windows I need to do. And I need to apply 1 and 2 doors. That's what I heard. I heard he's got a couple of gifts tonight. I couldn't remember if it was secret or not, so I didn't want to expose them. We have such a large following. Okay, it's not a secret gate. Alright. Oh, Bob, it's Bob too. Okay, 3D printing and other topics. Alright. Well, I could actually be in the house this evening. It does depend. I've got one of my ladies is out of town, but one of them will be here, and so we'll just have to see what happens with her bedtime and stuff. But and mine for that matter. I'm getting old. But I guess let's see how long we've been streaming. Let me see. Does it show on here? No, I guess it doesn't matter. But I've got a few things I need to go ahead and do, and I might go ahead and do a couple of them. I don't have the doors, but I do have some canopy glue here with me, and it is not hard. And if you are interested with the Z-scale models, man, this is actually a pretty fun process. So I'm just going to take a dot of canopy glue, and I'm going to get a fresh toothpick. And so here on the back ones, I've got one way down here to do and one up here to do. And so I think I'm going to see if I can go ahead and grab this and that's a door window. I got 3 doors to do because another door goes right there. Alright, so all I'm going to do is bring this glue in, and I'm going to wiggle it all the way around the edges. With this Z-scale, it's not hard to do. Alright. I just do a few dips and I wiggle it around the edges. Once all the edges get wet, then I start wiggling and stretching down. Okay, I just start going kind of back and forth and pulling down. And it will form a seal all by itself, just like that eventually. You just got to play with it a little bit. It's thin, but it dries clear. Looks exactly like a nice clean window. And I got another one to do up here that I forgot. This is going to be harder because it's harder not to touch this stuff. Boom. That one was real easy. Like I said, these are pretty fun. Now, HO scale, not so much. But, I guess it just depends on what part of the assembly you're doing. The HO scale windows aren't as fun. This is hard, and I don't want to drip. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I almost got that in one swipe, John. That would have been something. I'm easily entertained. Boom. And then the bottom one. Well, Bob, it really kind of depends upon what type of printing you're talking about. If you're talking about printing with that resin stuff, I need to listen and learn. If you're talking about printing people, figures, stuff like that, action figures, wargaming, anything like that, I need to listen and learn. Helmets, because they're doing the Iron Man suits and helmets and all that stuff now. I need to listen and learn. If you're doing a building, I could help probably a little bit maybe, but that doesn't mean I can't got nothing I can learn myself. So I'll be happy to be there, particularly if AJ crashes out early. And I don't. See, that's what happens sometimes. She crashes out, and so do I. It's like I take advantage of her crashing out by crashing out. I guess I'm glad I did this now. Oh, because it's done. Alright. It's always nice to be done. And so now, the windows I had previously omitted will take about 24 hours to maybe... no, because when they're thinner like this, probably 2-3 hours to dry. But when I lay them flat and I have the tape behind them and I put a little more, they can hold a little more, I'll make the window a little bit thicker. They take a little bit longer to dry and cure. But now what I've got to do is I've got to print 3 doors and put them on there, and then I'll come behind it and finish up with some weathering, and I'll pack it up and send it out. I'm happy with the way it looks, and I think that usually when I am, the others are, and usually when I'm iffy on it, I pay for it. So one thing about that, Bob, I know that you've got a few that going out there. Just beware of customer reviews, man. They can get ugly if they're not perfect. Although your ice house looks great, really does. I don't know how folks can get that, but I'm sure you're letting them know. But you definitely should. I use Etsy and eBay, Bob, because they're simple. I don't have a lot of trouble with them. Etsy is supposed to be connecting to YouTube soon, which will be really nice, because what that means is, like, for example, when I'm doing this build right here, I can actually have the ad for this model showing below it and stuff like that. Am I going to brush paint now? No, I am not going to brush paint, because this is very close to how this is supposed to look. This is supposed to be, if you look at the ad, this is really close to the ad itself, and then they've asked for it to be very lightly weathered. And so I have some weathering on the roof, I have some weathering on the walls. Where I do not have weathering at all, or what I consider light weathering, is on the stone on the bottom, and I've got to do that. And once I put the doors on, I'm going to come in and do a little weathering on the stone part at the bottom, and some weathering on the deck, maybe a little bit more on the roof. But other than that, we're just trying to make it not look new and shiny, and we'll make sure that the shine's off of it. That's all. They don't want it to look like a toy. And so I understand, and it's good if it's perfected, but it's looking great. So I'm going to get out of here, but I thank all y'all. It was good to see a bunch of y'all that jumped in here. Kyle, it was great to see you. Dave BNSF Scale, Klondike. I don't want to miss anybody. John was here. Bob was here. I hope I'm going to go ahead and scroll up. That's why I usually don't do that. I try not to do that. But then I like to thank everybody. Steven was in here. I'm glad I went up. He might still be, too. Steven be lurking. Randall, too. I could have forgot about them, but I think he had to step out. But anyway, it's great to see y'all. Going to be streaming a Z-Scale warehouse build. Going to be streaming, probably going to do the Z-Scale Ski Lodge next, because thank you, Steven. Probably going to do the Z-Scale Ski Lodge next, because that is the customer who seems to be most anxious about being sure it gets there for Christmas, so it must be an important Christmas present. So I think I'm probably going to do that one first. Then I'll do the Z-Scale Warehouse. Unless, of course, you're watching and the Z-Scale Warehouse is yours and you want it faster, let me know. Then we can change that. Just tell me in chat and we'll do that. Anyway, they got the Z-Scale. So we'll probably do the Z-Scale Ski Lodge, which is not weathered. It is painted, but not weathered, because it's assembled. I don't do it assembled without painted. But it's not weathered, so I just got to put that guy together and box it up. And so that's not going to take forever, and because it's already painted and it's already printed. And so I got to just do the Z-Scale Ski Lodge, and then I'm going to come behind it and do a Z-Scale Warehouse. Now, I will be followed that with, but this won't be before Christmas. This will probably be after Christmas. I'll be following that with a Z-Scale Mountain Chalet that was ordered that I just am not going to be able to get done before Christmas, I don't think. If I can get it done before Christmas, I will, and I'll send it out to them. But that one was ordered pretty late and isn't even due to go out until the middle of January, but I'm going to try to get it out quicker than that. Over the Christmas break, we'll be doing a lot of stuff, because I've got 2 Z-Scale layouts I'm going to be working on. One of them is a little self-contained layout, and one of them is a 12-foot shelf-type continuous loop layout that I'll be doing. That one's going to be 6.5 feet off the ground in the garage. So we'll be working on the base, the track work, the bench work, and all that stuff. Not the track work. We'll be working on the bench work and stuff for all that stuff at the beginning of the break, and then after the break at some point we'll get in and we'll start doing scenery and track on both of those things, and hopefully we can get a train on them pretty soon. We have a issue with the N-scale layout in the shed right now, and so won't have anything more with that until I have time to get down there and try to correct the issue. Might have caused my wireless controller. I might have caused a problem with it. I had a loco derail on a turnout, and I had a recovery thing that came up, and I hit recover, and I don't think I had it perfectly fixed. and so I think that I might have shorted my wireless controller, and I've got to go down there and investigate that. And I got to have a little time to do that because right now it's kind of all I'm trying to do the best I can to get all these things out for Christmas. I've got 2 kits to go out as well, but they're ready to go, so we're good on that. They're going to get out, and Santa Claus will have them in place. Thank y'all all for joining me today. I really do appreciate you. And look for me to be streaming again in the next coming days, if not later this evening or tonight. If AJ gets here and goes out and plays in the out front with her friends, I could stream the ski lodge assembly, or I could come in and show a little weathering done on this. But I appreciate y'all joining me today. It was good to see each and every one of y'all. If you're watching in replay, thank you very much. I want to encourage you to subscribe and click the bell icon. You can further support the channel by checking out our channel memberships that we offer below. And like I said, we've got a multi-level layout going to be built in the garage soon, and so we got a lot to come. You don't want to miss it. Y'all take care.